school, not because we haven't been asked to do it, but because we don't want to do it, right? We're at a point in our lives where, we kind of get, when you build your business, initially it's very important. You go to schools, you want people to hear you and stuff. At this point, you just want to kind of kick it, right? But I have such a tremendous relationship with so many of the leaders that are here, that it goes nameless, just like John Levin was saying. I mean, it seems like we're on a committee or a board or special group every 3 weeks. I spend more time with John Levin on Zoom. It's the craziest thing in the world. Charlemont Gymnastics. Absolute best friends in the business. I would not be $1 million earner today without the business relationship that we have. We have so much in common in this business, and he got to $1 million 1 month before me. I just love doing Marlene. This unbelievable couple, Alan, William. I mean, just so many people in this. The Ortizes, so excited. New $1 million earning family. One time I messed my knee up, that's neither here nor there, trying to be with the young folks. So, man, it was just easy to do this event, and I really do. I want to echo the sentiments that was said earlier for what Dave and his wife have done. We haven't been here in the past, but we know when we come to a quality event. I would want to tell y'all this. If you see Dave out in the hallway, he's still going to be at the event. He's just not going to be running it, right? But if you see him, just give him a word of encouragement and appreciation. This sort of thing doesn't put on itself, right? And I was looking at the recognition he was showing me, the recognition aside. I was blown away. I told him, I said, this is national convention level. Oh, I'm going to take it a step further. You're not going to get it this good as the national event. Now go ahead and get whatever they give it out, right? But it ain't going to be like that. I'm going to let y'all know, right? And look at this display. God, please give it up today for all. So what we're going to do just this evening, we did some stuff in the locker room. Anybody say about the locker room? So we did some things in the locker room. We did some question and answer. Tomorrow's all the teaching stuff, and I know that John was kind of privy. We are going to do the 7 fundamentals, and then now have people who want to come back. How do you make money here? Yes, we're going to talk about that, right? So we're going to do all that tomorrow. But today is just a little bit of this evening. It's a little bit of our personal story, and what I really want to do is delve into the theme a little bit about this game thing. So I'm going to tell you my personal story. Keep that as short as possible, so I can tell you how to win the game, right? Why you should win the game, and when you should win the game. So that's what we're going to do with you this evening. So, starting out my personal story, I actually got recruited into Primerica. I grew up in Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I went to school in Clarksville, Tennessee, at a place called Austin Peay State University. In 1997, by the way, I'm going to give you a little bit of how to do Primerica in the midst of the talk. Is that okay? A little tough for us at this level to talk about anything and not really be telling you what you should be doing or how you should be doing to win this game. So in 1997, my actual fraternity brother, my line brother in my fraternity, he was also my roommate, he got prospected. Now, the thing is, and I know you guys aren't familiar with this, but prospecting is when you go and talk to a person face to face, offer them something, whether it be a product or an opportunity, and then they say yes or no. We'll talk about that tomorrow, because that's the fun we're performing to you guys with these cell phones. All right, so that's what happened, right? So he got prospected. Now, here's the thing. The guy that prospected him aside was a part-time country music writer. Now, what makes him part-time is nothing was on the radio, right? Okay, so nothing was published, nobody was singing this stuff. And so this gentleman went to my fraternity brother's job. My fraternity brother at the time worked at a place called Blockbuster Video. Now again, we'll go ahead and explain that. Okay, Blockbuster Video was a place where you would go and see movies, but the movies were like on these plastic things about the size. And you would take that movie, sir, I have to explain that to younger folks than me. So you would take that and you'll put it inside another larger plastic thing. You would watch that for a day or two, and then you would take it back. So my fraternity brother managed that facility, right? And so what ended up happening is, now here's the thing. I want to share with you that if you are in this room today, you're in Primerica, in whoever's base shop, in whoever's hierarchy, God intended you to be here. Now, it's not by happen chance. You see, sometimes you think that, well, if this person didn't recruit me, somebody else would have recruited me eventually. Is that right? No. See, I grew up in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, most of you, because of your time in the business, would know that we had about a $5 million earner whose business was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That gentleman's name was Ronnie Barnes. Is Ronnie Barnes, right? Ronnie Barnes' office base shop was about 15 minutes. Chattanooga's not that big, right? About 15 minutes from where I grew up. Now, my dad was a banker. He was also, we owned a florist business, as well as he taught driver's ed, right? So he had 3 pretty much full-time jobs. Do you think if someone would have ever prospected him and said, are you keeping your options open to make additional money, that he might have been interested? Well, nobody from Ronnie's organization ever showed up. So you're thinking that you got here because, it just is what it is, and I don't even know, why am I in this person's base shop? I'd rather be in it. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. God put you in that position. See, because that part-time country music singer, I can see it because I've experienced it. I can see him sitting in his car, and he's agonizing, going back and forth, John. Should I go in? Should I not go in? What if they say this? What if they say that? What if they have this objection? What if they... And all he had to do is turn that car around and leave. And me and my entire hierarchy are not here. So if you think that God didn't do it, well, how do you think it happened? So he finally goes in, right? And now, here's a little teaching. Now, he started to do some things right. The first thing he did was, when he went in, he asked, let me speak to the manager. Now, again, you guys are, only of a certain age, but there used to be sci-fi movies that were out, and back in the sci-fi movie, well, let's say James T. Kirk would end up on another planet, and the first thing that would be said is, take me to your leader. Take me to your leader. See, this is called call and response. So I give a call, and then you respond. Right? It's like I say something that makes sense, and you go, amen. Makes sense? Amen. Good. So take me to your leader. That was the first thing he did right. Now you have some Primerica leaders that will tell you just recruit any and everybody. Give everybody a shot. And I believe in that. Anybody that wants to jump on my webinar, I could care less. We're going to do the presentation. But if I personally, or one of my leaders personally, are going to prospect somebody or make a telephone call, we want to increase our odds by making sure we're talking to the right type of person. Now, you can sit here and keep spinning your wheels, and I'm going to give everybody a shot, or instead of going to the grocery store and talking to the checkout person, talk to the assistant manager. My brother was the manager. Then he said something magical. He said something foolproof. An unbelievable recruiting statement that I still have not heard a better one ever said. You gonna write it down? Are you ready? It was so good, Charlotte, that if you ask Jay-Z and Beyonce, they will give you the same response. If you ask Bezos, if you ask Zuckerberg, if you ask any of these major billionaires, they say the same thing. Here's the statement. Because I'm sure if you ask Pookie and Shanae, they are going to be in alignment as well. In my community, it's Pookie and Shanae. Okay? Are you ready? Yes. You're ready for a letdown because you're like, oh, it's just going to be some old can. Why don't you go try it and see? Are you keeping your options open to make additional income? I'm going to give you a preview tomorrow. Oh no, Joe, I'd rather just inbox 100 random people and say God knows what in their inbox than ask a specific person in the street how they keep their options open. You give me 10 people that will ask 1 or 2 people a day, are you keeping your options open to make additional income? And you can have 100 people doing 100 inboxes and we'll destroy you. Not on the leaders board, at the bank. Oh, I didn't say they didn't have no fruits. They had a bunch of empty-ass fruits. Oh, that's tomorrow's talk. I'm sorry. I digress. And of course he said, yes, I'll keep my options open. Now, he's in Primerica. They asked him to put together what? They asked him to put together what? I'm going to teach you how to do that tomorrow. Because y'all out there give me 100 names out of your phone. You know what? Don't even actually give me any names. Just put a post on Facebook. And let's say 100,000 nobodies respond. I'm interested before they know it's out. I think you should do that too, though. But it's not going to be better than their top 10. The hot market. So guess who was on the list? And why was I on the list? Because I fit the criteria. See, you just say, hey, anybody think maybe we can get in the business? That's not going to build you a business. I'm going to teach you this tomorrow, right? We just always do steam, right? What we did was now is we kind of did we got to talk kind of a 2020-some version of it, which is champ. So who's competitive? Who's hardworking? Who's ambitious? Who's money motivated? Who's got great people skills? Give me that. And before, let me clean something up, so I'm already getting some of the looks from you inboxers. I'm already getting the looks. I feel you. We recruit more people than you, Joe. Okay. All right. I didn't say don't inbox. I'm going to teach you how to responsibly inbox so we can all have an opportunity 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. That's what I'm concerned about. So if I get on a Primerica stage and I'm on that soapbox, it's because I care. Because I really do want to have the opportunity that some of these Primericans have to pass this on to my children. But if we don't fix this, there's not going to be a business to pass on to the children because our reputation is going to be destroyed. Will some people have become millionaires in the process? Yes, they would have, at the expense of the rest of us. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow, okay? Responsible inboxing. So I fit all those criteria. And this is one of my best friends. Listen. African American fraternities and sororities, you get beat up to get in. That's just how it works. We're close. We're in line by height. I'm a 4. This guy's a 5. This is my dude. It still took him 6 months to get me out to the meeting. There's a lesson in that. All he had to do was just get pissed off, frustrated, or call it a day. And generations of people would have been affected. But God didn't have this. That's all that had to do. That's all he had to do. 6 months 6 months, I'm going to be a call. Somehow, some reason, right? You got to follow up. We never talk about it. You got to follow up if they're worth it. Does that make sense? They struck you as somebody that you sat down with, you did a Zoom with them. They struck you as somebody that really can do this. You can't follow up too much. And so finally, you got away from all the primary scripts and said the right things. Not all the scripts that overcome. Can we just say this aside? If I've got to prepare you for 15 objections they might say, and what you've got to say, you are calling the wrong person. I need your help with the script. Doing what? Wrong question. I need your help. This is my brother. This is my sister. These are my parents. These are my best friends. These are my cousins. I'm showing you how to put together a list right now. You didn't go down a damn thing. All these random people on Instagram. How about your parents? And some random people, right? How about your brothers and sisters? How about your cousins who are like brothers and sisters to you? What about your favorite auntie, your favorite uncle? Right? Who are your best friends? How many people were in your wedding? Well, I had 5 people on my side, and my husband had 5 people. Okay, where'd you lose 10 damn people? They all bought tuxes and bought dresses, spent money, maybe flew somewhere, and we can't get an appointment? I'm just trying to make this thing, I'm just trying to make it make sense. Does that make sense? Yes. So at that point, right, I'm on the list. Right? I'm the person you're looking for. So I finally show up because he kind of pretty much cursed me out. That was the script. Some of y'all need to use it. I don't understand that your mama ain't no client. I don't understand your brothers and sisters got State Farm and Allstate. I don't understand that you are out here in the streets spending money with other people and don't expect them to spend money with you. You've been using the same dry cleaner for the last 5 years. They've never even received a quote. Wouldn't let you do one? Well, you're no longer my dry cleaner. I don't understand this. I'm trying to make it make sense. We start doing all this cold market stuff and we start holding people accountable in our lives. You've been going to the same church since you were 5 years old, been tithing, you on the pastoral oil prayer, you in the choir, you in all that. Then you go to the pastor and ask for a Wednesday night seminar, and he said, no, I'm going to a new church. Make it make sense now. I didn't say nobody had to buy nothing. I didn't say you had to be a client, pastor. But let me deliver to the people. People love people too. I want to make sure we set them free. I just need 15 minutes in the Bible study. My grandma went here. My mom went here. I go here. I'm raising my kids here. I can't get 15 minutes in the Bible study. Just trying to make it make sense. Is this how we build a business? I don't understand. So let's get to the story thing, right? So about me, that was kind of getting up to the thing. Okay, so I get involved. We'll make this fast. So I get started. I interview on a Wednesday. I'm in class Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I tested on Tuesday and got my license. On that Tuesday night, I had 6 people at the out meeting. Do you know why I had 6 people? Because that's how many they told me to have. That was a mistake, wasn't it? See, if they told me I had 10, I'm a competitor. We're going to talk about that. I'd have had 10. Right? But they told me to have 6 because they said, and you say you got a lot of credibility, your yes is yes and your no is no. See, I want to recruit some people aside whose yes is yes and no is no, not somebody willing to give me 124. That's what I think about my life. It's not because the test is difficult. It's because you recruited somebody whose yes is not yes and their no is not no. Are you joining with? Why would you join Primerica to come here and not get a license? Now, I don't know if you're going to be productive. but did I get a license? So I got into that. So they told me, listen, Joe, you say you got credibility. Yep. Right? And listen, by the way, of my 6 people, 4 of them tried to cancel on me the day of, and they got cussed out. Can I say what I said without using the curse words? Yes. I told these white folks I was going to have 6 people at the office. So I'm trying to do it. You're not going to ask me for this like that. Marvin, people like that. I said, listen, you're not going to ask me for this like that. I told you like that was 6 times. Who don't do that? I didn't know what curse words in there. They all showed up. So I'm trying to say, if you don't do what you said you were going to do with me, lose my number. See, like you soft with people. Listen, they say if you allow a man to slap you 1 time, he'll slap you 1 time. You allow him to slap you 2 times, he'll slap you 2 times. He's going to keep slapping you until you say stop. Does that make sense? Yes. So I had the 6 people that said, if you get 6, you got all this credibility, you said 3 of them going to join. Now that's not the company numbers, it's not the 25%, but I had credibility. Guess how many joined? 3. 4 of them became clients. I wrote 6 sales my first week. Now, brand new people, who've been in business less than a year? All right, y'all are soft. Now check this out. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? That's how we can get better. It cost me $190. Here comes the story of how I walked 5 miles uphill in the snow, barefoot, across glass. We all got it. The South got it. The Lavins got it. Charlemont got it. We all got it. Okay? It cost me $199 to get started. I had to pay to go to class, $50. Money order to the RVP whose office I went to, just happened to be Roy Mallott. So I had to give Roy Mallott $50 money order, his name on it. Then after I paid that $50, now I got to go take the test. That was like $60. So I paid the state of Tennessee for that. Then, once I passed the test, I had to pay for my license. That was about $105. I'm out about $500 almost before I made a God-blessed dime. Brought 6 sales in my first 7 days. Guess how much my field training bonus was? Hey, how much damn field training bonus? Guess how much training reimbursement do I get? I didn't get none. And I basically closed most of the sales. Just through my credibility, because the country music singer was my field trainer. His name was Ted. So he's bumbling, fumbling, rumbling, fumbling. Hey, hold on, Ted. What Ted is trying to say is, you got better health insurance. Now listen, Sally, you go get the policies over there. Now Jimmy, you go and get the check. Y'all get insurance tonight. Oh, you want to field train me? I'm going to help you. Man, I ain't going to sit back. And I wasn't getting a nickel. But guess what I did get? Training. And I was pumped up about it. And here's how they sold me on this society. This is how they sold me to give all my business away, right? Not make a dime, pay out $500. They said, okay, listen, Joe. At the end of this process, you're going to be trained. Okay? And you see these people that you have recruited. Yes. But we're going to go and get them to go get licensed. And then you're going to train them. And guess what you ain't got to do? What? You ain't got to get them nothing. Let's go. I'm a division in 30 days. After that, and you know what happened? I ran out of my market. I didn't learn how to get referrals yet. Now I'm out here trying to prospect and cold. It wasn't good, and it wasn't good at all. I wasn't making no money, and it was a struggle. Joined in 1997. You heard Charlemont and our story is almost identical. I joined in 1997. I spent the first 2.5 years in Nashville. Wasn't working out. Things wasn't working. So I moved to Chicago. Didn't know anybody. Spent another 3.5 years inside Mike Evans' base shop trying to figure this thing out. I didn't know anybody there. Now I'm an RVP. 5.5 years later. See, the thing is, all I ever hear about today in Primerica is fast this, fast that. And that's cool, because we have the type of opportunity that will allow for that. But it ain't going to be the majority of your story. See, you hear Charlamagne and I say 9, 10 years before we go over our first 100. Now listen, there's a bunch of people in the room like, shh. What's wrong with you? What was your problem? I don't know, man. My story's not your story. Right? And your story's not mine. I just know I wouldn't trade any of it. It made me the man I am today. The mistakes, the ups, the downs, the right moves, the wrong moves, all of that stuff. See, in a scriptural reference, they would say it was a trying of the faith to perfect your faith. Right? The trials and tribulations is a part of it. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that are self-imposed. That's different. But we're not going to talk about that. So the end of the story is we finally figured it out, right? And so what happened? What was all the turnaround? Well, listen, we learned how to become self-disciplined. We learned how to be focused. We learned how to have drive. We learned how to lead other people. We learned how to self-improve. We learned all these things. Where'd you learn them? Events like this. From leaders like this. You have two at this school. Two of the foremost experts in the life insurance business we've ever seen. That's not up for debate. That is a statement of fact. And you ain't running a profitable life insurance business, and you got two of the preeminent leaders in the life insurance area, all of the things. I had Assad's tape. I didn't even know that I did say tape. I didn't even know how the terminal illness rider worked until I heard him say, and I damn sure didn't know I could sell it as an advantage. So it doesn't make any sense. Listen, study to show thyself approved. That's how this thing, that's how you win the game. Study. Get the stuff from PFS Media. Get the stuff on SoundCloud. It's out there. Oh, that's all old school. It kind of worked. These guys are rich. Is life insurance different today? Couple of bells and whistles, but at the end of the day, you put lipstick and perfume on a pig. It's still a pig. That's all IUL is. It's just a sweeter smelling, better looking pig. I was going to say that on the broadcast they cut it. So we didn't see it live. Well, we're going to have to cut that part out about the pig, Joe. We don't care. Call a spade a spade. So, for the brand new people that are like, why is this guy here? That's the second part of the story. Okay. All right, so we get to RVP. We don't get to the ring for another 4 years. We already told you that, right? But 4 months over after we went over 100,000, we went over 200,000. We finished that year at 250,000, right? We ran a $80,000 to $100,000 bake shop, good business, strong QBI. You know, we throw numbers about big bake shops around, but I'd like to see what you guys go along with it. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So you really are talking tomorrow, like, that's stuff I don't hear tomorrow. Just wear hard-toed shoes tomorrow, and everybody do good, okay? Hard-toed, no tennis shoes, no sandals. So we learned how to run a real business. And we started to promote vice presidents, right? So the same guy that it took 5 years, right, to go RVP, took 9 years to go over 100,000. What's this though? 9 years after going over 100,000, 9 years after that, we were $1 million earners. That's right. That's right. By the way, a built million. A built million. Well, you don't see a lot of people, man, shooting to $1 million, but can you stay. And the way you do that is building through other people. Through other people. Right? Building leaders. So this winning the game thing, where am I? Where am I? I go. Get up for my wife. All right, what are we going to do? Why to win the game? How to win the game, and then when to win the game. We good? You still with me? You're a little touchy about some of the things I said already? No? We're good? Because we got like a whole day of this tomorrow. So if you're a little sensitive now, it's going to be bad tomorrow. It's going to be bad. But listen, this is something that my dad used to say right before you're about to get beat. It's tight, but it's right. So it's tight, but it's going to hurt me, boy, it's going to hurt. No, it's not going to hurt me at all, but it is going to hurt you. Why to win the game? Why to win the game has to do with freedom. Freedom. We are not the only game in town. Primerica is not the only place where an individual can make significant money. It's not. I personally believe that it is the best, most viable option for regular, average, and ordinary people. I just don't know what the regular, average, ordinary, average intelligence, average attractiveness, average personality, average speaking ability, whatever the case may be, Primerica can allow you to go to exponential levels. And I just don't know what else you're going to do like that. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. And the end of the story of what you're looking for, the key to the game is freedom. And it gets thrown around so loosely. So it kind of loses significance. We're going to talk about 3 kinds of freedom. Time freedom, money freedom, and option freedom. Time freedom. And it was so great. See, Assad was talking about this. Once you build your business, you can be wherever you want to be, whenever you want to be, for as long as you want to be. And that freedom is deeper than you could ever imagine. You just heard a multimillionaire complain about 2 vacations a month. And he's not really complaining. Because the wonderful thing, can we talk about Primerica for a second? The wonderful thing about today's Primerica is you can work while you're on vacation. It's just in a better place. So when that Zoom is over, and he rolled over that $250,000, right? His wife's already by the pool. There's already his favorite libation. He'll drink, so it'll be something. PG. Not gonna let it. But whatever. And he's already in his swim shorts. He just had a nice shirt on. Guys, I'm telling you, the game we're playing, this is unbelievable. But the freedom to do it from wherever. I was on a conference call with John and I had one of our millions of conference calls we do, and he was in Paris. He's like, oh, I'll be in Paris, but I'll go ahead and jump on and, stay on for maybe an hour or so, and then we've got a few things we're doing. We're going to be on the Champs-Élysées, You don't want that. The challenge is the probabilities that your job will ever provide time freedom is slim and none. It can't. The job must own your time. That was a great letter. That was unbelievable. That's an eye-beating letter. That resonated with everybody in the room. You've been in that scenario where the company must come first. See, Primerica never told me that Primerica must come first. Never. Glenn Williams would never say, Don't do something that is significant for you and your family because we have a Primerica event. He would never do it. Isn't that a beautiful thing? We don't have to choose ever. Never. You will never have to choose. That's worth more money than you can ever make. Well, what about money freedom? See, a lot of you are full-time, and you do have time freedom, but you ain't got no money freedom because you ain't got no money. You want to win the game, so not only do you have time, but you can fill that time with whatever you desire, and you have the money to do it. I don't play golf. John plays golf. John enjoys playing golf. We enjoy going to concerts. That is our thing. We sit 100 level. Why don't you get on the floor? Because I'm 50, and I don't want to stand up for 3 hours. Does that make sense? I'm going to be 100 level, right? So we go see Beyonce. We're 100 level. We're watching the show. I'm not going to stand up the whole time. We enjoy that. You want to make the money. See, when we talk about the things we enjoy doing, you should be in your mind going, when it's my money, I'm going to do X, and then go do the work. See, because there's one of the things you got to, as a part of winning this game, you got to be a dreamer again for real. That's all I ever talked about, Eric. Be a dreamer again. Be a dreamer again. The dream is still alive. The dream this, the dream that. How much do we hear about that now? It's okay to talk about production, and you got to write this much, and you got to recruit this much. But what about the dream? What are you doing it for? One of the things, listen, on the whole money freedom thing, this doesn't excite you, right? But one of my mentors who passed away, Keith Phillips, told me about 6 years ago. We were at an ALC retreat, and he asked me, he said, how much money are you saving for your girls' college? We got a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old girls, and he said, how much you saving? Yeah, I think it's $200-300 or something a piece, right? And he was like, are you crazy? He said, you know what college is going to be for them? And he started talking about what he had to pay for his daughters right at that time. And I was like, oh my God. And we started immediately doing $1,000 a month. Now we do $2,000 a month each child. Now, that means by the time they're 24, they'll both have $500,000, and I don't think they'll spend a nickel of it on college. Now, if they do, fine. Well, I'm not knocking college. I mean, I did that, but in retrospect, I'd rather get out of the business. I had fun in college, but I'd rather get out of the business and be on the trajectory I was on. At that age, does that make sense? But it's exciting to me that money freedom is that money accumulating for them. It's the whole adage, we talk about this all the time. We can't wait for whoever this great young man is going to be in their lives. Well, we don't need it. We want him, we pray for him, we're going to pray over him, but we don't need him. She's going to be straight. This matters to us. See, you got to start in this dialogue. You're supposed to be going, what matters to me? What's important to me? What impact do we have? My father has been on my payroll now for 3 years. $1,500 a month, every month with the bonus hits. $1,500 a month, $1,500 a month, $1,500 a month. Because I found out he was struggling financially with one of my family members that told me, and he wasn't telling me. He was making choices. Now, your son's rich, and he's making choices, medicine, food. All right, we're not, and the great thing is he's got a nonprofit, so I can write it off too. But do you want that? Are these the things you want? Do you want to fly first class?
Yes, sir.
Listen, the experience of your life, the first time you do it. way down here in Florida, so it was very short, trip, maybe an hour and a half. And she had booked us backstage. And I didn't know it till we got there, so I'm like, okay, so we're not going. Oh, hold on, we didn't do first class and we did. Oh my God. I didn't know we would go back there anymore. I'm joking, we didn't fly first class here this time. We're flying back first class. But the point is, experiences that change your life, right? That's the money freedom. Now, what is the options freedom? The options freedom. The options freedom is the options because of the time freedom, because of the money freedom, to decide what you're going to do. See, every single 24 hours, my wife and I have options as to what to do with that time and with that money. The money's going to keep coming. See, that's why we're going to say win the game, but win the game through building. Win the game through building if you want true freedom. Now, if you just want the money freedom and maybe a little bit of time, you can be a really strong producer, build assets under management, life is still going to be great. But if you want the whole deal, your income must come through other people. Other people. I can remember hearing on a tape once, John, that this Jimmy Meyer said that Joe Enser said, if you know every single one of your RVPs by name personally, you're not big enough. And I said, there is no way that I'm going to have a regional vice president, right, that I don't know. I've got probably 15 of them. Now, I know their name, I know that they're on, I don't know them. I don't know their wives, I don't know their husbands, I don't know their kids. I don't. And a little bit of that's by choice, you know, they're maybe me and they're up buying our clothes or whatever the case may be, but it don't change the money none. We got fourth generation RVPs now. I can remember trying to get out of my first one. We got fourth generation RVPs that go out and write a sale. Somebody makes up write a sale and I make like $50. I wouldn't know that person. Every convention, we go to the convention and meet producers. No, I'm talking about people that write 5,000, 10,000 personal. People that get, and they're just saying, hey, great, what's hired you again? Oh, I mean, you're hired. Oh, great to meet you. That provides the options. Do we want to go to breakfast here? Do we want to go to the movies in the middle of the day? Can I get risque with you? No, if you don't want to go. Oh, it's a clock. Oh, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know. I see it now. I'll be okay. I'm telling you, you should go full-time, build business, have options. Daytime sex is better. Okay, how to win. How to win. Rules to the game. Rules to the game, y'all. Grow or die. grow or dies. But I am not only talking about your distribution business. I'm talking about your client base too. Your client base will take care of you just like your hire if you build it right. I told them I was talking to Dave, some of Dave's leaders, and when you spoke in the, John, when you spoke in the locker room, it went completely over their heads. People were like, yeah, I need like 300,000, just ask us That didn't resonate with y'all? Y'all should have been studying for the SIE during the break. Just so what he said, that's 25,000 that's just going to come in. And guess what? 5 years from now, 6 years from now, it'll be 50,000 if he doesn't have another client. 5 years from now, if y'all don't kill our opportunity on social media, 5 years from now, 5 years from then, it'll be $100,000 a month. He'll be 75 years old, just making $100,000 a month, do nothing, grow or die. Now, a wise person would say, I want distribution and a client base. It doesn't have to be or. It should be and. Now listen, that's one of the big business mistakes that I had. I just got into security business about 8 years ago. I make about 6,000 in residual. But we are collecting assets. We are collecting assets. I got a celebrity client, $5 million that I'm going to see in a couple of weeks. This ain't no Zoom. I got to show up. Joe is coming himself. Right? Oh, there's money out there. Both are going to work for you. The agents and the clients. Do both. That's one of the rules to win the game. Compete and compare. I think that's a mistake. I'm not going to compare. I'm not going to compare. Wait a minute. We're trying to win a championship here. And if you aren't going to compare yourself to last year's champion, how are you going to win? Here's what all the NBA is saying right now. How are we going to stop Jokic? Because we can't stop Jokic, we're going to lose again. So that's what they're doing. They're not saying, oh, well, they're this and they're that, or they have this advantage and that advantage. Compete and compare. But that don't mean beat yourself up. Understand something. We used to talk like this in Primerica all the time. Everybody can be caught. Everybody can be caught. And that may not be your goal, right? You don't ever have to be number one in anything here and live the greatest life you could have ever imagined. But if that's in you, go get it. But I agree 100% with Charlemagne. Go after 1, 2, and 3 in your state. Hey, and if your state's a little fraudulent like Florida, that's the whole state. Then be the best you can be and don't compare. Because you never know what the next man or woman is doing to get those numbers. I'm trying to help you. Because you beat yourself up and they ain't playing fair. You just go play your, you're going to hear me say this a lot over the weekend. Play your game. Your game. I was talking to Dave about that, right? He's got some great goals, some great people coming together. Play your game. There's no reason for him to try to be this person or that person. He needs to play his game at the highest level that he can play within his system. You need to do the same. But be the best at it. Don't be mediocre for no reason. Don't run from the competition. Does that make sense? Yes. You got to do more. Of what? Everything. 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 You got to make more calls, set more appointments, see see more people, get more people in the webinar, get more people plugging into your training, whether that's Office, Zoom, whatever the case may be. You got to do more of everything. You got to get going. This is the convention coming up. This is our Super Bowl that's coming up. What are you going to do to get on that stage? What one thing can you do to get across that stage? Can you go RVP? Can you go over 100,000? Add a diamond? What do you go SVP? What are you going to do? That is under your control. It is completely under your control. You gotta do more if you're gonna win. I love it was being said earlier by Izzy. He was talking about Kobe Bryant. And if you don't have his book, the Mamba Mentality, it's unbelievable. Just the level of work ethic. That's all you gotta do is outwork them, and you win. When do you need to win the game? In conclusion, right dadgum effing now. What are you waiting on? Everything you ever wanted in this life is on the other side of what you do not want to do. What you are avoiding. The very things you are avoiding are keeping you from every dream you ever imagined. There is nothing that you could conceptualize in your mind that you can't go put concerted effort towards, and it happened. If it hasn't happened yet, you've got a mentality or a work ethic issue. And both of those can be solved by you. No one is coming to the rescue. No one's going to save you. And by the way, new generation, no one owes you a God-blessed thing. The scripture says that the righteous taketh by force. This is not a time to be sitting back and not giving this thing everything you've got. This thing is only getting better. It really, truly is. No, I know we always say that. Everything is good like this. It's a true statement. The opportunities, and we jabbing, you're young, and up and coming, we jabbing you all week long. But boy, are we envious of the opportunity you have. This thing is like, it's just like magic what we have. Everything the company does, field training bonus, paying for all the licenses, we didn't have these things to build a business. The next gen life is just insane. If you're not moving these policies, it don't make no sense. And stop moving these little ass policies too. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Just because it costs less doesn't mean that's what's best for them. That's why none of the $1 million earners are driving Hondas. God bless Hondas. There's just better things to drive, daggone it. Now it might cost us more, but it's worth it. Does that make sense? $42 app. Will you please start offering people $500,000 and $1 million policies? They want $1 million policy. Every single person, and I digress a little bit, and we'll do this tomorrow. Every single person you sit down with should at least see what it will be. Hey, just for fun, side. Watch to see how many more $1 million policies you do. Right? We can sit there with a single Hispanic business owner, right? And the agent had me get on, because I don't be doing the policy. Had me get on just to help, right? Business owner. And he was kind of sold on $500,000. And I said, Zachary, your business is a multi-million-dollar business. That was constructive. It's a multi-million-dollar business. You got $500,000 in cash. Tell me, does that kind of make sense to you? Let's just see. $142,000. See, that's people ain't writing no business. See, those of you that get excited about that, you can write a business. They pay my agent like $700 and still pay me $1,000. We had a little fun. We're gonna have some fun tomorrow too. But we only start tomorrow. We got a couple of talks. We are gonna do those 7 fundamentals. We're going to give you the real, unadulterated truth on how to build a business.